Rahul, between 8 and 9 o'clock, the various people we spoke to here, including some police officials who were speaking off the record, said Anna Hazare was expected to be released before 9 o'clock. Now they say it could be any time before 10 o'clock. So there's no really saying anything. Headlines today, of course, has reporters at all three gates of Tihar jail staking it out. There are equally sized crowds at all areas. It's a complete frenzy, as you can see in those pictures. The number of people, my amateur estimate would be, have actually doubled in just the last 20 minutes, Rahul. Thousands more people have actually showed up. At least hundreds more people have showed up. And the numbers are completely clogging the road that leads right up to gate number 1 and gate number 3 of the Tihar jail. People shouting slogans. There are many more flags. There are many more placards. We've seen families who've just had their dinner. They've come up. They've parked their vehicles a little while away and they've walked up. So the crowds are absolutely huge. And as you can imagine, as a result of the security concerns about a possible stampede, because every time the crowds hear a rumor, they run to another gate. So there's a huge deployment of barricades and more policemen now to make sure that nothing untoward happens. But the sentiment here is of utter anticipation and jubilation.
Whichever minister you speak to in the government says these are orchestrated, coordinated protests. You've been speaking to a lot of the protesters. Give our viewers a sense of who these people are who've congregated this evening outside Tihar jail. Do they belong to a political party, or is this really a spontaneous reaction to the government's high-handed, ham-handed action?
Rahul, we've actually seen people across the spectrum. We've spoken to tens of people who've said that they've been part of the Anna Hazare campaign movement ever since the first one that happened a few months ago. But that aside, and from the pictures that we've been broadcasting here on Headlines today, there are old couples, there are families, there are children, there are school children, there are college kids from around the National Capital Territory, especially Haryana and Ghaziabad. We even met a couple who had actually flown down from Saudi Arabia just for this protest. They're actually still here, and they've decided to remain here until the government actually capitulates, if it does at all, to the demands of Anna Hazare and his team. So while there are several people here who are volunteers, who are actively associated with Anna Hazare's movement and organization itself, I can tell you, I can vouch for the fact, Rahul, there are thousands here of people who are simply out here because of the mood, because of the wave of a sentiment that's gripping the entire country right now.
And the government in on-camera and off-camera meetings keeps insisting that any minister in the government, if he decides to go on a fast or protest of any sort, he'll have thousands of people rally behind him. You're saying that the people from outside the country, from different parts of New Delhi, who are all congregating at Tihar jail. Do we know yet, Shiv, what is the status currently of the release order for Anna Hazare? When will he be out of jail, and is he being moved to Pune?
No word just yet, no confirmation just yet, as you can imagine, Rahul, here, because it's an absolutely frenzied situation, as you can see in the pictures that are coming in live. Officers are not willing to speak to us. We've tried to speak to some police officials, but even they seem to be pretty clueless. I think the information as of now, as far as the police here, is being on a strictly need-to-know basis.
Varur, for the moment, many thanks for joining us. What is the government doing? Why? Confusion all around. First, personal allegations against Team Anna. Then the government says this is about principles, not about personalities. We don't want to make it personal. Anna Hazare gets picked up this morning, is put inside Tihar jail. The government seems as if it's adamant and wants to fight. Suddenly, after a meeting this evening, the government develops cold feet. What is going on? Is there a method to this seeming madness? We'll put those questions to Ashwini Kumar, Minister of State in this government for Parliamentary Affairs, Science and Technology. We'll also have Arun Jaitley, Leader of the Opposition in the Rajya Sabha, joining us. We'll go across live to Shiv Arur. Our political bureau is on the ball on this story. All that when we come back on the other side of a very short break. You don't want to go anywhere.